Hi, headset fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at it. The brand name is Polvcdg, or Guangzhou Yonghe Electronics Company Limited. The manufacturer is Dongguan Dougao Electronic Technology Company Limited, and the vendor is Quidnuran. And here next to Polvcdg is written in Chinese platinum code. I'm not sure what that means. It didn't seem to fit well with when I did a search for this product. I was trying to find a manual because this didn't come with a manual. In fact, it seems to have been an open box item, even though I wasn't aware that it was open box, because all it came with was this, just like this. So it's clearly missing at least an instruction manual. This is the X10 bone conduction motion headphones. Although if you translate the Chinese, it says exercise headphones, which makes more sense than motion, because I'm moving. That's motion. It's not the same thing. It has those things supposedly, and those, and then here's the back, and there's a serial number label right here under my finger that is kind of like a scratch off. You have to remove that to be able to see the serial number. It came with the charging cable, which is a magnetic contact one, like that, to USB-A. And then the headset itself is like this. And there's another one with orange and white, but different color scheme. This is supposed to be bone conduction. Now, there's no manual, so I've seen no information on the right way to wear this. So I've been wearing it like this, which I think is the right way. It feels natural. It's hooking over my ears, like this seems to be the purpose. And I have done a little bit of experimenting where I've put some space where it's contacting my head, where the bones are, to see if that alters or influences the quality of the sound, and it does not. So I don't know why they're calling it bone conduction. I tried putting it up here like this in different positions to see if that was better, and that was actually worse. So it's not actually bone conduction. It is, however, amongst other things, waterproof. So you can actually use this for, according to them, for swimming. It's got Bluetooth 5.3, so it's a little bit behind the times. The headband is, as you can see, flexible. I'm not sure, I don't think actually, that there's anything passing between here other than a cable to keep the shape. Each side has its own battery, I believe. And on this side, it just has the brand name. And then on this side, it has a readout, which will, when you use it, will show you how much battery power you have, what mode you're in. And then there are these buttons that you use to change modes and volume and stuff like that. Also, this is where the sound is emanating from. It's completely sealed, and that's why this is waterproof. It is actually X8, which is the IP rating. So IPX8. The X means no dust proofing, which doesn't really make sense. It's because I don't think dust can get in there, but and then the 8 is 8 out of 9, 9 being the absolute best. So it's really good for waterproofing. Not the best, but almost the best. Let's see. Aside from that, it has both a Bluetooth mode and an MP3 mode. So I don't know if this, I forgot to check, if this has got 8 or 16 gigabyte memory. There's nothing on the box to indicate whether it's 8 or 16. It says 29 gigabytes, which is interesting because, again, supposedly it's either 8 or 16 gigabytes, but mine is 29.1 total. So that's probably actually closer to 30, all told. It is fairly difficult to dislodge from your head, and that makes it great for athletics. It has buttons, and then depending on where I look, the playtime is anywhere from 5 to 8 hours. The capacity in milliamp hours is 230. The charge time is 2.5 hours. It is compliant with CE and ROHS and uses unspecified rechargeable batteries made in China. Now, I did some testing on my headsets that I've got, almost all of them anyways. And for this particular one, I'd like to share with you what's good and bad about it. So the first set of tests I did were for fidelity, and I used the HiHacker Ultimate Headphone test for that. And the first test is bass, 200 to 10 hertz, and it passed that with flying colors. It was good for the whole range. For treble, which is the second test, 8,000 to 20,000 hertz, that it went all the way up to 14,900 from 8,000 to 14,900, and then it stopped. And then the third test is the driver bass quality, which you listen to the lower end of the spectrum, and you're listening for distortion and buzz and that kind of thing, and it passed that test. The fourth and final test from HiHacker that I used is the driver balance test. And in this test, when you're listening to the spectrum from bottom to top and then back to the bottom, the sound should be exactly in the center all the time. You shouldn't go to the left or right. And unfortunately, with this headset, it wavered at the bottom of the spectrum and at the top of the spectrum. So wavering, what I mean by that is it was going back and forth between left and right at a fairly rapid pace, but not broad. And so that can impact if you are listening to things like a video game where you have to hear where something is coming from. That can make it harder for you to know where a sound is supposed to be coming from, which can, cause problems for you when you're playing that game. So I did 3 directional tests. The first is Lion Studio's high definition 3D test, and it passed that one. Well, all of them passed that one. The second one was Dolby Presents Universe, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 other headsets that did not pass. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3 others that did not pass, and 6 that did pass. This one was one step below pass, which I call Stereo Plus, where sometimes it seemed that it was just straight stereo, and other times I could hear direction. It wavered back and forth. And the same thing happened when I did the third and final directional test with THX Spatial, Hear the Difference. Then the last test that I did was to test how long the range is and how strong the signal is in wireless mode. So I left my phone here with the headset obviously synced up to that with Bluetooth, and I let it play something, and I walked away, and I kept line of sight with the phone. That's the first test. And I got all the way to the other end of the apartment, which is approximately 40 feet, without any distortion, without any loss of signal or anything like that. So that was great. All of the other headsets that I did that test for also passed, so it's not unique. Then I did the other test that I can. Since this set doesn't have a charging case, I couldn't do that test. But I did the test from the headset to the phone. And how that one works is there's a wall over here about, I don't know, less than maybe 7 feet away. Behind that wall is the water heater and the HVAC. And then there's a wall, and then that's the kitchen. And there's the refrigerator and the range there. So they provide between all those appliances and the 2 walls a pretty decent barrier. And this set was able to function in the kitchen. So that's good. But that's only stage 1, and that's the only stage that it passed. When I went to the bathroom where there's another wall in the way, it failed. So I didn't bother to go any further. Well, technically I start from farthest away and then move closer. So all the other ones did fail. Bathroom, bedroom, and then behind racks in the bedroom. So yeah, that's all I've got to tell you. I mean, this is great for athletes, great if you want to just listen to music and you don't care if there's directional sound or not, or if it's just stereo. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.
Need to ask for your help. I'm sorry. On December 11th, 2024, Amazon terminated me and used false accusations against me. And on December 17th, I had my left shoulder operated on. I'm getting a lot better. I can do some things with my hand and my arm, but it's still pretty limited. If you could please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications for my channels, that would really help. If you want to help me financially and you can afford to, you can go to my Glenn's Fast Reviews and you can do a super thanks as a donation there. If you want to donate on a monthly basis, you can become a member there. And or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII. So thank you for that. Also, I'd like to say thank you to bleepingcomputer.com for allowing me to post messages on their forum about my videos. Thank you so much. And don't forget to visit them. They offer a lot of wonderful resources for people who are using computers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
I'm a little bit confused about the brand name versus the vendor name. I think the vendor is Quidnuran, and then the brand name is Polvcdg. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't give you the rest of the information about the company. So Polvcdg, or whatever it is also called Guangzhou Yonghe Electronics Company Limited. And it says the manufacturer is another company called Dougao, or Dongguan Electronic Technology Company Limited. So it's a little bit complicated. There seem to be multiple companies. I don't know if Polvcdg is part of the Guangzhou Yonghe or the Dougao company, and which one Quidnuran is associated with, if any of them. It's kind of frustrating. But, that's the way it is sometimes with the packaging. Sometimes you have a vendor and there's no information about the vendor on the packaging because they just bought it from the manufacturer and are reselling it without actually slapping a label of their own on it, which is cheaper for them.